Welcome to All Things Flashy. I'm your host Vincent, and as always, we're going to bring to you the raw series of us reviewing cars live and how I feel about the car. So come, let me take you through the new 2023 Prius hybrid model. So on first look, it's going to come with these aggressive, sleek, nice swooshing headlamps, right? All in general, Prius has had a total redesign from their last 2022 models. The thing to note is the hood is actually made of total plastic, which is something that I don't really like about this car and this version. It's just that it feels a lot more of like a toy car rather than, something that will actually protect you in the crumple zone. We have this right here, which is a big block for, I don't know what it has inside of it, but it has a big block for, in general, the windshield wipers. So that's something that is interesting to see. The car in general is very sleek looking, so it's going to go all the way back with these really long curves, right? On this side over here, if you'd come around this way, it has these 19-inch rims. The other models comes with a 17-inch, but the 19-inch rims is a good addition to it. Makes it like a little bit sportier. I have seen a couple car heads mod their Toyota Prius finally and make it look really cool. So I'm going to take you inside. As my cameraman comes around, start talking about the interior. All right. So, as always, I'm going to take you through the inside of the car. Push the brake pedal down. Like always, push to start. And let's talk about a few features that I thought was unique about this car, right? So, this Softex wheel, which is a nice addition, adds that luxury feel to it. The seats are leather. Another thing that I really like is that the heads-up display is actually above the steering wheel compared to the Ioniq 6 that we reviewed last time, which was below the steering wheel, makes it harder to see. On that front, the heads-up display icons are a little too small to see, which is something that I don't like. It's hard to see with all that clutter in this tiny screen and see what you're doing, really. It also has a JBL 8-speaker system, and that comes with the limited edition only. And I think that's unique because, as always, you want to have a nice drive with, great sound. And so I like the fact that they incorporated it into this car. Another feature that I think is to note is the 12.3-inch touchscreen that we have, and this is common across all EV models. But this is a nice to have. It has Google Maps on it for you so that you can just drive and not have to worry about your phone. 6 charging ports and a cup holder with storage underneath it, which is kind of interesting. So you can stash stuff in here whenever you don't want it to be viewed from the car when you're parked. Another feature to note is we're going to come up here. The parking mirror actually, when you flip it, has a digital camera that shows you the rear view side of the car. And you flip it back like this, it's as easy as that. Then we're going to go to the lights up here, which is a nice addition. You can shine the light on your left, shine on the right, and then you can turn it off like that. I don't know if you just heard, but basically the engine just kicked on. It's electric and gas, so therefore it will kind of toggle on and off while you're idling. Another thing that I honestly don't know how I feel is if we go down to the stick over here. A lot of the EV cars you can just go up, down, and a push to park. But the thing is, for this one, you will have to actually push left, which will engage the gears, and then you can go drive, or you can do reverse. All right, and so we're gonna push to park. Let's take a look at the interior in terms of up on top. They have a weird way of doing the sunroof system. I kind of don't like it. I get the point, but basically they split the sunroof into 2 parts, which, as you can see here, I guess it's for the back passengers so they don't get sun on themselves, and also the front passengers can control the amount of sun. I like the cars to kind of have a panoramic view of the top in general, so that makes it look nice to drive, and you can look up at the stars and, all that stuff. I have plenty of space, but my head is kind of low already. The head space is not that much due to the fact that, and this is, I think, is, you know, one of the critiques I would have about the car, is that it's very slanted in terms of the rearview mirror. And because it's slanted, you'll see that all of your touch screens and your heads-up display and the mirror, it'll kind of block your field of vision. So it's not really allowing you to see all of the road. It'll make you feel more of like you're in a lower car for sure, rather than feeling like in a normal car. The seats that we have for this edition is actually going to be leather, so it's a nice touch to it. It does get pretty hot in the summer, so I do advise that. But if you want to take care of that part, on the systems over here, we'll have heated and cooling seats, so you can kind of control that for both your driver and your passenger. Ambient lighting that goes across, which is a nice touch. We always like some lighting inside of the car. And if you look towards the back of the seat, there are total 6 charging ports in the front. There's 2 in the front, and there's a couple in the back, so that your passengers can also charge their phones and their tablets and their electronic devices. Speaking about this car, is that I feel that the car is very much better than the old Prius, for sure. It just feels great. It looks nice. It's sleek. It's a different feeling to when you compare Priuses to the past, and that's something that a lot of people have said about the car, is that it's completely redesigned from scratch. And you don't really get the feeling that you're in a Prius, which people make fun of all the time, but this is ultimately a car that's luxury. It feels luxury too, with the carbon fiber and all that stuff. This car comes with an auto parking system. The auto parking system is hands-free and will allow the car to actually park for you. I have not seen that in many cars, especially not expecting it from a $35,000 Prius. I mean, that's not something I expected, but it does come with this car, and I'm going to show you how that works in a little bit. So if you come around this way, I just want to show you something real quick. Is that the LID icon shows that it's a limited edition. The HEV right here is actually part of the hybrid electric vehicle initiative that Toyota has done, where they want to go carbon neutral in 2050. And so we're going to push this right here. The limited edition version is the one that will have the automated trunk lift for its hatch. We have our gear here, but this total cubic space is going to be 21 cubic feet, which is actually smaller than the 2022 with its 25 cubic feet. So a little bit less trunk space. I don't really care for this right here. It kind of gets in the way, but I get that the point of it is just trying to have a screen to hide your stuff. So I do, appreciate, I guess, the thought. You're not going to actually be able to have a wheel inside of this car, a spare tire. That doesn't come with it. It's just going to have its normal, fixer-uppers for emergency cases. So that's, I guess, a flaw. So if I push down this, it's going to automatically lower it. And I want to show you kind of the sleek look in the back, where they have basically gotten rid of the 2022 Prius, where they had two back rear lamps, and they have made one total unique fluid lamp. In essence, the Prius, what I like about it is that it's pretty much a good standard car now. Like it's not like, you can't really make fun of this car anymore. It's not, it used to be people's the butt of the joke in terms of the car community, but a lot of car manufacturers have really tried to emphasize the cool look in terms of their EV cars. I think they really did a good job on the population and marketing purposes of it, where people will add spoilers to this and make it look like a spaceship and a car out of this world. Cameraman and me are ready to go, and so I'm going to take you through the raw review of the driving experience of this car, okay? So again, to disengage the parking, all you have to do is just go left and you're in the gears, right? Let's go outside a little bit, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the car, the driving experience. In general, driving it, it's definitely smooth. It's very quiet. You're not going to get those haptic feedbacks that you get from the other EV cars where they have these ambient sounds. It's meant to be kind of that car where you want to be low key about it, but also, you know, show a little bit of class. The heads-up display, again, I mentioned how the icons are a little bit small, but it gives you all the information that you need. The 12.3-inch touchscreen is definitely a good touch to the car. I also really like how, in general, the lighting inside of here doesn't feel too dark, doesn't feel too cramped. It feels very spacious, and I think that's something that the interior designs at Toyota definitely looked at. There is several modes you can take in this car. There's going to be different drive modes where you can initiate with just a pull of a button, right? I wish it was a push of a button, but you know, when you pull in, you're going to have your eco, your normal, and your sport mode. So we're going to engage the sport mode and kind of test out how fast this goes. Again, 0 to 60 in 7.2 seconds. So if you hear the engine pushing, it's that in the combination with the electric part of it. It's 4 cylinders, so you're not going to get a ton of power, but definitely more than enough for your little exhilaration of speed that you need. You have an eco meter that will tell you, you know, how much you know, power you're using, so the meter will just kind of go up and down. I think it's a little distracting. Personally, I don't really, you know, I don't know if that's even necessary, really. Just tell me the things I need. It has a speed limit speedometer on here that will kind of tell you the speed limit of how fast you're driving, so that's great to have. You're going to have, in terms of the safety features on this, you're going to have a 360 panoramic camera, as well as a cross-traffic camera that will allow you to see people coming in and out, and the sensors actually will pick up if people are coming by and close. So if we're going to pull into here real quick, and just go into like a parking space here. All right. So time to test out if this auto parking feature actually works. You push the park, and you can see the car here, and you can select which type of park that you want. So if I release it, this is a crazy experience to have, but I am not moving anything right now. Completely hands off. And these sensors right here are actually picking up where the lines are, and it's going to readjust to see where the lines are. Now I really hope I use this correctly, because I am a little scared of the car jumping over some Okay. Is it because, you know what I think? I think I know why. I think it's because it can't see the parking spots. You know what I mean?
But it's like a regular...
Like it can't see the parking spot, so I probably have to go like directly perpendicular to it so that it can do it for me, right? Like, see, like, is it gonna know now? See, now there's those 3 lines. Hopefully it's gonna. Oh, that's cool. Okay, now you're gonna park there. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
It is going to try to park there. So let's start. Okay. Officially, this is the official time, right, that we're going to try this. So the car is using all of its sensors and its ability to kind of map out your surroundings with its 360 camera that it's located on each side of the vehicle, and it's just kind of try to navigate you through parking and do its best judgment in terms of mapping out where the lines of the parking thing is. So you'll see this actively adjust as you're moving. I'm not touching the wheel, and it's going to try to guide the car into the parking spot that I designated earlier when I selected it. And so I'm not touching anything. I do have my foot on the brake just in case, because I don't trust the technology as much, but I have faith that it's going to happen. Great. So let's take a look at the camera. It does its job, right? Like, meaning it does what it's supposed to do, which is get you in the zone, but you will definitely have to adjust this. This is not a perfect technology that they have provided in this car yet, but it's a nice feature to have. So all in all, I think the driving experience is pretty good. I like how the car is looking nowadays. I like the fact that it ultimately tries to involve all the technological innovations that we have to offer in the new cars in 2023 into this one car, which you would expect on a normal, other Priuses to just have, the basics. But we have a lot going on, and I do appreciate it. And they do try to think of the passenger and the driving experience first. So with that being said, this concludes the driving portion of All Things Flashy. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.